Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing stories surrounding the Detroit Lions, and it involves none other than their breakout wide receiver, Jameson Williams. There have been some shocking rumors swirling around lately, rumors that could have a significant impact on the team's future. And as always, when it comes to the NFL, things are rarely as clear-cut as they seem. What exactly is going on with Williams? Could we be seeing the end of his time with the Lions, or is this just a case of baseless speculation? There's no doubt that this news has taken over the conversation around the Lions, and for good reason. The potential of Jameson Williams being traded is a story that has fans, analysts, and even players themselves on edge. So, what sparked this? Well, it all started with a report from Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer, who dropped a bombshell about Williams' future with the Lions. Breer suggested that there's a growing belief within NFL circles that Williams could be on the trading block, particularly as Detroit faces a critical decision on his fifth-year option. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Just as these rumors were heating up, Williams himself stirred the pot with some cryptic social media posts that left fans and reporters alike scratching their heads. Was this an attempt to communicate something about his future? Or was it just a coincidence that his posts came right as the trade rumors gained traction? Now, if that wasn't enough to keep everyone talking, just a few days after the trade rumors began circulating, the Lions decided to post pictures from their voluntary off-season workouts. The very first photo they shared, a smiling Jameson Williams, looking every bit the part of the player fans have come to love. At first glance, it might seem like nothing more than a simple photo from a workout session. But knowing the context of the rumors, could this be a strategic move from the team to calm the storm? A way of showing fans that there's no reason to worry about Williams' future in Detroit? It's hard to ignore the timing of it all. Was this just a coincidence? Or was it the Lions' way of reassuring the fan base that Williams is still very much part of their plans? The image of Williams smiling and working hard during the offseason could certainly suggest that everything is fine, but let's not forget, the NFL is a business, and nothing is ever as straightforward as it seems. So what does this mean for the future of Jameson Williams with the Lions? Let's dive into the details and try to piece together the puzzle. First off, let's look at what we know about Williams' performance on the field. The 2024 season was a breakout year for him, and it's hard to ignore the significant impact he had on the Lions' offense. He finished the year with 58 receptions for 1,001 yards and a total of 8 touchdowns, 7 of those coming through the air. His yardage total was second only to Amon-Ra St. Brown, showing just how integral Williams became to the offense. He wasn't just a deep threat, but a reliable playmaker who could come through in critical moments. This kind of production is not easily replaced, and it's no wonder that fans and analysts alike are struggling to imagine the Lions moving on from him. But, of course, the NFL is a business, and sometimes even the most promising players are traded if the situation calls for it. If the Lions were to trade Williams, it would be a monumental move. Trading away a player of his caliber, especially someone who has proven to be one of the team's top receivers, would leave a gaping hole in the Lions' offense. They'd be losing not just a talented wide receiver, but a player who has the ability to change the game with one big play. That's not something you can easily replace, and the pressure would be on to find a suitable replacement. At the same time, though, we have to remember that the Lions are building a team with a very clear goal in mind, a Super Bowl championship. And if trading Williams opens up opportunities to strengthen other areas of the roster, particularly on defense, then it might be something the team is willing to consider. The question is, would a trade actually improve the team in the long run? Or would it just create more holes that would be hard to fill in a season where every win counts? But let's pause for a moment and consider something else. The Lions are still a team on the rise, with a Super Bowl window potentially opening in 2025. Would they really trade away one of their most dynamic young players in a season when they're so close to reaching the top? It seems unlikely. After all, the Lions already have a solid foundation in place, with key pieces like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff leading the offense. Williams is a critical part of that puzzle, and it would be a bold move to dismantle it now. Then there's the issue of the fifth-year option, which Detroit has to make a decision on by May 1st. This is where things could get tricky. While Williams had an outstanding season in 2024, there's still a lot to consider when it comes to his future with the team. Exercising the fifth-year option would give the Lions more time to evaluate Williams and decide whether or not they want to commit to him for the long term. But what if they decide not to pick up that option? What if they let him go or attempt to trade him before making that decision? Fans are certainly wondering if this could be the beginning of a major shakeup for the Lions roster. Here's another angle to consider. While it might seem that the Lions are committed to Williams based on his performance last season, the business side of the NFL can often make teams take tough decisions they wouldn't otherwise make. For example, there's a possibility that the Lions could use the upcoming draft to bolster other positions of need, such as defensive line or linebacker, and this might prompt them to reconsider their current roster and cap space allocation. Could the team view Williams as a potential trade asset to address some of those needs? It's not an ideal situation for fans, but we've seen teams make tough calls in the past, sometimes to great success. Now let's look at the other side of the equation. What if the Lions don't trade Williams? What if they keep him on the roster and choose to exercise the fifth-year option, giving him more time to develop and continue building chemistry with Goff and the rest of the offense? It seems like the most logical course of action, but there's always the possibility that something unexpected could happen, something that might push the Lions to make a difficult decision. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Could the Lions be planning for the future? Could they already have their eyes on a wide receiver in the upcoming draft? Some insiders believe the team might be looking to add more depth at the position, possibly with an eye on a player who could eventually replace Williams down the road. But could that mean Williams could be traded in the near future to make room for this new addition? It's a thought that keeps fans wondering if the Lions are truly committed to Williams, or if they're already thinking about the next big move. So, what do we make of all this? Could the Lions actually trade Jameson Williams? Or is this all just a bunch of rumors and speculation? Personally, I think it would be a huge mistake to let him go. His talent, his ability to make big plays, and his connection with the rest of the offense make him a key part of Detroit's future. But with the NFL, you never really know. Anything can happen, and that's what makes this situation so exciting. But what do you think about all of this? Do you believe the Lions should keep Jameson Williams, or is it time to make a change? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As a Lions fan, I'm definitely leaning towards wanting to keep him on the team. His potential is through the roof, and he's only getting better. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to hear from you in the comments. See you next time.